Yoo-hoo! So, in this particular topic of dividing fractions, there are a couple of steps, okay? When you divide fractions, there's certain rules that you need to follow. So the previous one was adding fractions, and with adding fractions, you need to have the same denominator before you can add them, okay? So, but with dividing fractions, there are different kind of rules. With dividing fractions, you've got this particular part, which is 1/3, okay? So you've got 1/3, and what you're gonna do with that particular fraction is you're gonna keep it. You're gonna keep it the same. The next part is you're gonna change this. So the actual division operation is gonna be change. And when you change it, you're gonna do the opposite. So what's the opposite of division? Yeah, it's actually multiplication. So you got here 1/3, you kept the same, you're gonna change this, and then the last step is you're gonna flip. Essentially what that means is what you think that is gonna mean. Just in normal context, that means flip. So you're gonna flip this, that's gonna go to the bottom, and then this number is gonna go to the top. So it's essentially like you're flipping a coin, okay? So what are you gonna have? You're gonna have 6/2. And now at this point, you can actually simplify it. Okay, so you got two different ways to simplify it. Either you can go 1 times 6 is 6, and then 3 times 2 is 6, or you can find a common factor. Let's just go with this particular method, and what we're gonna do is, we're gonna do 1 times 6, which is 6, you're multiplying the top numbers, and then you got 3 times 2 is 6. Can you simplify this even more? I'd normally go downwards, that's how you should go, but there's not enough space. So 6 divided by 6 is gonna be equal to 1/1. When you simplify, that's gonna be equal to 1. Going on to this next question, so you're gonna have to do the same rules. First one, which was keep. You're gonna keep the same, okay? You're gonna keep this the same. So you're gonna write it out. That's gonna be 4/5. The next stage is you're gonna change. So you're gonna change this particular division operation to a multiplication. Next stage is flip. So you're gonna flip this particular fraction, and it's gonna be, this numerator is gonna go at the bottom, and the 10 is gonna go at the top. So now that's gonna be 10/16. Cool. And now you can actually simplify. In the previous method, what we did was we times the top numbers and then times the bottom numbers, but there's actually a shortcut, okay? You can cross simplify, meaning you can simplify from top on this side and the bottom on this side. As long as it's top and bottom, that's the rule. So in this particular one, when you multiply two fractions, you can simplify them as long as it's top and bottom, okay? So we're gonna look at any common factors, all right? So the common factors, let's start off with 4, okay? 4 and 5, that's gonna be, there's no common factor. What about 4 and 16? Yeah, 4 can actually, as a common factor, it's 4. So you can divide this side by 4, and the bottom divide by 4. What are you left with now? You're left with 1. 16 divided by 4 is gonna be equal to 4. What about this, 5? Does a 5 have a common factor? Yeah, it has one between 5 and 10. You're gonna divide the bottom by 5 and the top by 5. Okay, you're gonna have to divide by the same number. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. Now, when you write this out again, it's gonna be 1/1 times 2/4, which is equal to 2/4, okay? Now, when you do this, some people, they just skip this step because they just already acknowledge that that's 1/1. We don't need to write that, but I just wanted to write that to show everyone what that process involves. Now you've got 1/1, and now you've got times 2/4, which is equal to 2/4. Then you got to think, okay, can I simplify this? Yes, you can. This divides by 2, this divides by 2, you've got 1/2, and that's a half, okay? So if we'd gone through the other way and done 4 times 10 at the start, like we've done it here, okay, that's going to be 40 divided by 5 times 16. Okay, that's also the other way to go about it. Now 5 times 16 is going to be a huge number. Okay, so that's why I went about it this way. Okay, there's no wrong or right way to do it, but you want to go through it the most efficient way possible. This question, you're going to do the same thing. Keep. And so you're going to keep it the same, which is 8 over 5. Okay, and then you're going to change, which is going to change this division to a multiplication. And then the last step is flip. Okay, so you're going to essentially flip this, and the 10 is going to come to the top and the 4 is going to go to the bottom. Now you can cross simplify. Okay, so the other way to do this is you can go 8 times 10 is 80, divided by 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, so that's one way to do it, okay, which should equal, like, you'll find that out later on and we'll go to that. Or you can cross simplify. Okay, so you're going to divide this side by 4, divide this side by 4, because 8 and 4 have a highest common factor is 4. 8 divided by 4 is going to equal to 2. 4 divided by 4 is equal to 1. Okay, the next part here, could you cross simplify here? Yeah, you can. So you got 5 divided by 5, 10 divided by 5, which is 1, and that's equal to 2. So some people do that in their head, which is totally fine, but I'm just showing you what's actually going on. Now you have 2 over 1 times 2 over 1, which is equal to 4 over 1. Can you simplify this? Yes, that should equal to 4. Okay, I'm just going to show you the other way. So you got 8, you had 8 over 5 times 10 over 4, which is equal to 8 times 10 is 80, divided by 5 times 4 is 20. Can you simplify? You can cut the top and bottom zeros. Now you're left with 4. Okay, that's one way to do it. Okay, but yeah, that's about it.